everyone, my name is Rafal and I would like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. So today's video will be slightly different. As you guys probably know, I'm not a big fan of discussing gear or equipment. This is something which is always at the end of my list. But I had quite interesting story last Saturday and I thought it's worth it to share because the way this whole thing unfolded is kind of unexpected and I was quite shocked and amazed. So I think this is gonna be good material to put this video together. So long story short, last Saturday me and my wife we went to local farmers market where we usually get some vegetables and some kind of like organic stuff, and they have some section where people just sell tons of different type of junks, and I usually don't go there. It's kind of weird and bizarre place, but we had a little bit of time to kill, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go there and see what I can find there. And there was one booth where there was an older gentleman and he was selling old and vintage cameras and lenses, and I was just shocked because I didn't even know those places even exist in Calgary anymore. There used to be a few of them, but with this economy and all this stuff what was happening, they all got shut down. I just basically didn't even know they still are here. So we have a very long conversation and he showed me a bunch of different lenses for Nikon. Some of them they were extremely old, vintage, quite interesting stuff, but there was one lens which really caught my attention, and that lens, which I've never heard about this company, to be honest. I tried to Google it and I couldn't find much, and the lens was Kitstar and was 3.2 80-200. There's some double coating on it, just kind of weird a name, but when I look at the lens, looks fairly well maintained. Seems like maybe it's not of course brand new, but it's not used much. So we have a discussion and he offered me that he's gonna sell me this lens for $20, which was something which almost like my jaw just dropped. And I honestly didn't know what to expect from it. 20 bucks, it's not a lot of money, and I thought, why don't I take it, I do some headshots with this and see what's gonna happen. So this morning actually I did a little photo shoot with my wife just to test it, and to be honest with you, I didn't expect much from this lens because this is the company which I've never heard about it, even though the lens looks really solid, looks really well made. Of course, it's all manual, so the way it's gonna work, it's a little bit different, but I've decided to put this lens into the test and see what's gonna happen. So what I've decided to do for the purpose, of course, of this video, I did the same settings, the same kind of scenario, and I shot some shots with my lens which I usually use, which is Nikon 70-200 VR2, and with the same settings, with exactly the same lighting, I've shot with this Kitstar 80-200 lens. And when I downloaded those images, I have to say I was just blown away by the quality this lens can produce. Having said that, I just want to make sure and I want to be clear, this lens is not better than this Nikon 70-200 VR2. Let's be clear here, and I want to actually just put this right away so people's not going to tell me and not going to hate me that I'm trying to say that that lens is better. It's different, but at the same time can produce stunning images, and probably you guys not going to be able to see the difference. I will show you some images where you guys going to be able to compare those two lenses, and I would like to hear your feedback if you guys see the difference. But I think what amazes me the most, that lens took me back to the old days where you have to actually work to create some stunning images. You have to work with your equipment. And nowadays, everything is automatic. You push the button and then everything kind of focus itself and do all those stuff for you, and you have to just click the button. This lens is a little bit different, and this is what actually just make me feel so cool about photography, that you have to work for it. Because as I said, this lens is fully manual. You have to actually just zoom in, zoom out manually. Those those things work with a little bit of pressure, but actually work really, really well, because then you can have a little bit of feeling to it. So you have to just kind of work with the lens. The same with focusing, is a manual focus, so you have to work with it as well. But actually was pretty cool. It really makes you feel that you have to work for the image. And what I want to say, I think for all those photographers who, I don't know, have a little bit of spare of time and they want to play with their equipment and they want to actually just really enjoy photography, those vintage lenses, they can really do the trick for you, and they can really take you back to all times where you have to really play and you have to work with the lens, with the cameras, to actually create the image. I know nowadays everything is super fast and super quick. It's a different story, but those lenses, they can really make you work to create an image. And the one thing which really also blown away by this lens is the quality. And I'm guessing this lens is about 20 to 40 years old, because it's really old. The guy told me he had this lens for at least 20 years. But the quality of it is unbelievable. This whole thing is metal. It looks really solid. And even if when I put this lens on my Nikon D800, when I mount it, hold it really tight and really nice. So for $20, I think that was just a bargain, and I'm super happy. Actually, I've decided to get this lens and test it and work with it, because this is something which I honestly didn't expect. And again, when I actually downloaded those images and I look through the sharpness and the quality of the images, this lens really doesn't fall back behind my Nikon 7200 from Nikon. The one thing is, definitely it will slows you down, and you really have to work to get the images. You have to work with your zoom, you have to work with your focus, you really have to make sure you're working that lens throughout the photo shoot, which was extremely fascinating and was extremely amazing. And I think I wish everyone could experience this, and especially for those guys who starting off and they want to really get the feel of how the photography feels like. That lens definitely helps you to get that kind of grip. So I just want to share those informations with you guys. I think that was quite fascinating, and I'm gonna keep using that lens for my upcoming photo shoot and test it a little bit more and play with it, because I definitely think it can produce not only great images, but also can give you a little bit more fun to have a even bigger and be more in control of your photo shoot and everything what you're doing. So I hope that was interesting. I hope you guys like those images. Please let me know your thoughts. Again, I just want to make sure that I don't want to again just kind of discourage Nikon and all this stuff. I know people might take this the wrong way. I still gonna work with my Nikon 7200. This lens is much quicker, focus much quicker, works a little bit better. There's no question about it. But for the sake of having fun and really kind of go back with my memories where, you know, photography was on completely different level, this is really worth it. So again, what I want to say, if you guys have in your area some place where they're selling vintage lenses, I would highly recommend to explore them. Not only you're gonna support the local business and people who also they have passion for photography, but also that can kind of give you a little bit of more fun. And those lenses, they seems like they're extremely cheap, some of them, and they can kind of give you some outstanding results. So this is just my little kind of recommendation and my little thought. So thank you for watching. I hope that was interesting. Stay tuned, and I would love to hear feedback from you, what you guys think. If you guys have any comments, please feel free to contact me. You know how to find me. Stay tuned, and I'll chat with you guys very soon. Bye bye.